This is me trying to post every weekday, setting a goal, a big ambitious goal, and just trying to share as much as I can and kind of give a voice to the other side of YouTube that isn't really spoken about. So last week when I started the series, I said that I would post every weekday. And after 2 episodes, I realized I couldn't do that and I failed. I stopped uploading and I kind of took a break and kind of reassessed over the weekend, went out with my girlfriend and went into nature and kind of reflected back on the last 2 episodes of what I was making. And I quickly realized there was something wrong. But before that realization, what ended up happening was there were so many emotions of shame that came up. There was so much self-judgment and kind of like comparison that I would put myself up against. And that kind of led me down into this dark path, especially with all these clouds that came into my city. And I kind of got stuck. And after going out in nature and kind of reflecting on all of these experiences, I realized there was something missing. And when I look back at like my inspirations, for example, Ecom Soup, I really love how true and how simple they keep things. And at the same time, what I realized after looking back on this content was that it was more of a dialogue than a monologue. David, the main guy who like is in front of the camera, he would often have questions coming from the person behind the camera, his team. And this kind of led, like, basically as he was teaching his team, he was also teaching the YouTube channel, and that kind of led that purpose. And I kind of started this channel similarly, not with a team, but in terms of trying to get on dialogues and trying to let that fuel the content. And at the same time, this first week at least, I was basically trying to turn what I had learned and turn all of the conversations that I had into these, bite-sized pieces of content. And what I realized was that it took so much energy to downshift into those monologues from dialogues without having any context. And without that context, it was so hard for me to try and map it onto somebody. And yeah, it's starting to rain now. And basically the transformation that happened for me was that I realized that I can't do it alone. Similarly, like 3 months ago during the summer, when I realized that I can't do my entrepreneurial journey alone, I realized now, making the content on these monologues, that I need assistance and that I need to get on more dialogues with people. And so I started to reach out to people, to friends, to people who are interested in coming along on this mission of trying to, showcase and share the wisdom and understanding that if more people shared their depth and divinity, the world would be a better place and more beautiful place. And so, yeah, that's kind of the transformation I've been on. I started to talk to people and I started to try and set up more meetings and calls and let that fuel the content that I want to be making, because I don't want to be making content just for the sake of I need to post every day. I realized that really quickly, and so I'm not going to be doing that anymore. I'm just going to let it flow out and let it come from this overflow. And so I just kind of want to see what things emerge from the conversations that I have and kind of see where things go. So yeah, that's episode 3. Come hang and see you next time.